Okay, guys, I think we're good. So, hello, everybody, and welcome to Ultralytics Live Session number 16. So this is real exciting. I am Glenn. I'll be your host today. I'm the founder here at Ultralytics and one of the many contributors in the open source space to computer vision models. My favorite's YOLO, but there's quite a few these days. So we are joined here today with Lakshantha, also from Ultralytics, who is our embedded computer vision engineer. Thanks for joining us, Lakshantha. And also, we have a special guest, Jennie Wang. And Jennie Wang is joining us here from Seed Studio, all the way in Shenzhen, China. So Seed is one of our friends. We've been out to Shenzhen to visit them before, and they're an edge hardware company that is really great for all sorts of electronics, and these days a lot of computer and vision AI hardware and edge accessories and accelerators. And so we are going to give Jennie the opportunity here to talk about one of the most exciting products that Seed has launched recently. So, Jennie, I think with that, I will hand this over to you. And I've got one quick question before you start, though. So today, the product that we're talking about is the ReCamera. It's spelled RE camera. And so where did Seed get that name from? Like, what's behind the branding there?
It's actually like the product series. Like we have the Things product series based on like the NVIDIA Jensen product line. So the RE means like we rebuild the products, the previous product, and also integrate into the new technology. So we create a new one or create an updated version based on the previous technology. So that I think that's how the something the product name coming from. But I think the ReCamera, you can call that ReCamera or RE. That both are fine. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And I guess it's not all in the name, right? Because it's not just a camera. It's also sort of delving into robotics now since it comes on a gimbal.
Right.
All right. So this is exciting. So you could deploy it and then programmatically move it later on, or have it actually track an object with something like a YOLO model.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. It's super cool.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Jennie. So I hear you have a few slides to share with us. So I will let you take that away there then.
Yeah, sure. I'll just share my screen. Just wait me a sec.
Oh, and for everybody that's joining us, whether you've been here before or you're new, we have a Q&A session at the end of this. And so the typical live session is about an hour. Maybe the first half is us presenting new topics, and the second half is really open for discussion and a big Q&A. And so we try and answer everybody that asks a question in the YouTube chat section. And so leave a comment there, leave a question, and we will try and get to those towards the end here.
Yep. Just drop the questions in the comment and we'll get back to you later. Yeah. All right. So hello, everyone. My name is Jennie Wang. I'm the product marketing at Seed Studio, mainly responsible for NVIDIA Jensen product series and ReCamera, which is deploying in vision AI, generative AI, and robotic applications, especially for the most trending topic like the physical AI or embodied AI applications during these days. And I really appreciate Glenn, Paula, and Lakshantha. They invite me join this webinar to be here to share more updates of the ReCamera and how easy to deploy the YOLO 11 models on ReCamera. So before we dive into ReCamera technical details, let me first introduce our company to help you get a full picture of who we are and what we are doing. So we are an AI hardware company based in Shenzhen, China, starting from 2008. We were mainly focusing on sensors, MCU boards with maker or DIY nature. But then we keep being maker style, but in the meanwhile, growing up to deliver real-world digital hardware solutions to over like 200,000 developers, from sensors, network communication to edge computing full system with AI processing, analytics, and further control system. So here we not only provide market-ready modules or devices, but also open up capability to prototype, produce, and promote as fusion service, helping more innovators to co-create projects from idea to products, and also providing customization service based on our standard product design. So
and
yeah.
And guys, yeah, for the people that don't know of it, Shenzhen is sort of like the Silicon Valley over there in China. But it's got a significant emphasis on hardware as opposed to software. So I almost see it like a hardware analog. And it's got great benefits because there's so many startups kind of packed in a similar area. That especially for things like hardware, it's it's great because you can source components almost the same day or the next day. And so it's got just a very vibrant ecosystem on the hardware side, and these days also on the edge AI side.
Right, exactly. And also you can also check the right sidebar shows most of the advanced platform or architecture we're working with. Based on this architecture, we build sensors, networking gateways, also edge controllers and GPU processors in various product series, and integrate them into our ecosystem software partners, platform, and algorithm or models like Ultralytics YOLO to provide solution for diverse industries from infrastructure, energy management to like the agriculture and smart retail and more.
Yeah, and also I think I just want to point out because I think in the past something like YOLO could not be able to run on these edge devices, right? So now we have the chance to run on you say today we have the ReCamera, and on such a small device we can run these Ultralytics like YOLO computer vision models. And I think I think we have come to a great point. So potentially we could have a great future when it comes to the edge AI space as well, from my opinion, moving forward from 2025. Yeah.
Absolutely. And if you go to the last slide that Jennie had there, starting in 2008, it'd be literally impossible. Even if they had the most advanced, smallest models today, they're just unrunnable on the hardware back then. So I think it's really been, and if we look at what we've done in the YOLO space, it hasn't been so much on making smaller, lighter models. A little bit, yes. But I don't think it kind of pales in comparison with the hardware advancements that have happened in the last decade. And of course, that's one of the main reasons that we're starting to get this kind of like renaissance in edge AI is through all these new capabilities, the smaller process nodes, and the advances on the hardware side specifically, coupled with, of course, software advancements too. I think the synergy between the two is really creating exciting times.
Yeah. And although I think the most latest YOLO 11 also empowers our edge devices or like the ReCamera to build more like powerful capability in the vision applications or also integrating like multimodal, this kind of large model together.
Yeah, and on the AI side, it's actually the opposite direction. Like the models tend to get like bigger because people always want better accuracy, more reliable results, and that's tough to do when you get smaller. And so it's almost like the hardware has been accelerating in terms of its capacity to run larger models. But on the software side, we haven't been helping things too much in terms of smaller models. We've mostly also been marching in the direction of higher flops, say to run an image through a processor. But of course, you get much better results these days too.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so now I think it's time to jump into the most exciting part. Let's discover what's ReCamera. So I believe many of you have already seen ReCamera back to Eurovision 2024 event in last year, right? So at that time, it's our first launch showing ReCamera to this world. In case any of you missed that part, let's get a brief recap of ReCamera's hardware feature. Then we can move forward to the latest OS or dashboard updates to see how easy to deploy YOLO 11 models on ReCamera through no-rev workflow. Then we can get experience of this fluent using experience by trying our live demos. So I think that's the outline for today's presentation. Okay. All right.
Live
So you're
demo.
gonna do,
it's
gonna be a brave live demo.
Yeah.
You gotta be brave all this to do live demo.
Yeah, we can try that, but we also record a video just in case
I think this one, I give it like a 90% chance of working.
Yeah, let's try. Okay. When you saw ReCamera in the first sight, I think everyone will say like, wow, it's so small. How can it be powerful? Well, ReCamera is indeed a tiny AI camera delivering one TOPS AI performance, which equals to a camera plus edge devices with AI processing capability. So the modular hardware design combines a processor and a camera sensor, easy to customize for more interfaces expansions. And it's also a fully open source project with hardware design files and software OIs and dashboard, or shared in our GitHub repository. So you're also very welcome to join this project, pull request to the repo, and contributing the project together to make it more flexible and accessible to everyone. So to
So
get
Jennie,
yeah.
So there's no ruler here. How big is this thing? Like how
I'm
much
sorry?
are we talking about? How big is this thing?
Oh, how much are we talking about that?
Yeah.
The
We need a
price
banana to scale.
I think it's affordable because the price range, it depends on do you want to purchase the core board, or do you want to purchase a full system with Wi-Fi or not, or do you purchase the eMMC with 8 gigabytes or 64 gigabytes. So it starts from like $40 around, and then the highest level of the ReCamera could be $54. So I think it's
Oh wow.
it's
So it's
affordable.
it's very affordable.
Yeah, I think so.
And Jennie, the size, I think Glenn was also interested on the size, right? The actual
size
size
in
of the
centimeters,
device.
not just dollars.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The size should be 40, and 36.5. Yeah.
Oh, that's right there. Oh yeah. Oh, that is small. Yeah. It's like a postage stamp. Yeah.
So you can deploy it anywhere or integrate into any system.
Okay.
I think Glenn and I, we will be receiving this device very soon.
Yeah,
on
we
our
were
hands.
supposed to.
We are very excited.
We packaged in the
Please
mail.
buy
It didn't get here in time for the event, but yeah.
Right. Yeah. And then we can get deep understanding about hardware components. So the ReCamera has 3 layers, including one core board in the middle, like where you get CPU from SG 2002 SoC and 256 megabytes memory, and also 2 versions of eMMC, which I mentioned before, like 8 gigabytes or 64 gigabytes. And you can also add TF card to expand the storage up to 2 TB. And also, each eMMC version also corresponding to 2 communicating options. You can choose either without Wi-Fi module, or you can bond the Athena on board with Wi-Fi 2.4G or 5G, and also Bluetooth for 4.2 or 5.0. So that's the different version of the ReCamera. And also, as you can see, with the core board, it's already a lightweight Linux OS-based build root system. So here we provide you the access to modify the execution logic based on our preferred coding language. Currently, we support Python, Node.js, C, or Rust, so that you can just write your script on the VS Code and then upload the file to ReCamera Workspace to optimize the workflow, make it flexible for like customization. And then the sensor board is providing the OV5647 sensor by default. So we also support MS335 SC130GS sensor compatibility. Well, it's still delivering as a tested option in GitHub rather than standard product in the camera full system. So just stay tuned with our future product releasing updates. And
so Jennie, I have a question here about the camera. So it says OV5647 and IMX. So those 2 are different camera sensors, like 2 different camera sensors.
Yes,
so is it like 2 different options for 2 different sensors, or like both of them are integrated into one?
There are 2 options. So for now, we only have OV5647 sensors integrated into the camera, but the other 2 options are in the future roadmap. So we are planning of that, and we also provide the capability file in the GitHub repo, so the users can just build by their own in their prior to our developing progress. But you can also keep updated with us.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. And also for the baseboard, the default version is including USB Type-C for power charging, and also UART and Ethernet port. You can also define the specific interfaces you need and customize the baseboard as you want. So for now, we support PoE, vertical Type-C, CAN, RS-485, or Gyro, and provide the schematic diagram and design files in the open source GitHub repo. So you can just take a reference to quickly build your own board, or you can also keep update with our steps to release to official baseboard options. So these are many choices for you to customize for your ReCamera.
Okay.
Yeah. And also, what I want to mention here is that the core board is surrounded with an aluminum frame to maintain the operation temperature below 50 Celsius degree. And also, we add the rubber ring around the frame for waterproofing. And the basic case, yeah.
So we actually got a question about waterproofing actually. So it does have some level of water resistance.
You mean the water protection for?
Yeah.
For now, we don't have the IP levels, but the rubber rings can just protect like the water enter into the ReCamera core board. So if you want to add more like IP protection, we can have to customize for that.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think the hard part feature is that. And then as we mentioned before, in our ReCamera's next developing roadmap, we'll provide multiple choices for camera sensors and baseboard supported. And now we are calling all developers and ReCamera users to join in this stage. Just let us know which one do you need more so that we can collect the feedback and develop in priority as users wish. So here we can send a questionnaire in the chat box. Just everyone can join in and just let us know what you think. Then we hear you and take actions further. So maybe Paula or another friends can share the questionnaire link there, so everyone can join that.
Oh yeah, it looks like we just shared it there. So Jennie, stupid question, but why would somebody choose one of these cameras over the other one for the camera board, the sensor board?
Can I get the question again?
Yeah. So we have these two sensor boards, the IMX and then the SCT. So what are the benefits of each? Like if somebody wanted to pick one over the other, what would be the criteria?
I mean, the default camera board is, I think it's the basic one that the performance is not very well, but we want to make it as a default version. So if you use the IMX 335, maybe the performance or the quality of the image capturing will be better. Or if you can give us more suggestions, like what camera sensors do you want, or maybe you can get more infrared imaging or any thermal imaging choices you want, you can just let us know, and maybe we can put in the plan of our developing.
Yeah, and then those new boards would be compatible with the existing baseboards and so on.
Higher resolution.
Okay.
So is it going to be like a modular? You just connect this kind of different.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's what it looks like.
On top of the core, right? The core is the one which sits on the middle, and then you just keep adding on top of it. Am I right?
Right. You can combine the sense board, core board, and baseboard together. Choose what you want.
Cool.
Okay.
And then I think we can move to another one. Yeah. So here are some application possibilities that we envision the ReCamera should handle well. So you can integrate it into any platform or system, whether it's a robot arm, a gimbal for flexible moving and tracking, or you can deploy it on an industrial tripod or combine it with a handheld pocket camera with a power supply. So there should be more possibilities, more fun that you can discover with ReCamera. So maybe you can also let us know in the Discord group, and let's discuss about more possibilities.
And so on the right side, it looks like they could also interface with a variety of different lenses, like
Oh,
zoom lenses, for example.
yeah, for industrial
Okay.
use, right?
Yeah, or specialized. That's true. Yeah, because a lot of industrial applications have very specific requirements around like the wavelength and the intensity of light and so on, and the lenses that are used.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
And here is the open source project. So we always keep updates with our current developing progress and deliver to all contributors with desiring capabilities and applications as task lists. So everyone can join this project. They can get very clear about our roadmap and begin searching and developing all at the same page. So I think the GitHub repo could be a good start for everyone to join. And
Jennie,
yeah,
I love asking stupid questions. So it looks like you've got a little GitHub summary app over there called Monica. Is that a plugin that
yeah, that's
yeah,
a Google Chrome integration, like the this
yeah.
one
No, that's pretty cool.
writes
'Cause
some
sometimes it's
content.
yeah, that's pretty useful because sometimes it's hard to figure out at first
Yeah,
glance what's going on in a GitHub repo. Huh. Cool, I've
I
never
think
seen
it's
that.
right. And
Okay.
then here's besides the rich flexibilities about the hardware. So one of the most important features is that we collaborate with Ultralytics to integrate YOLO 11 models into the camera. So currently we support the YOLO 11N model, which is pre-installed with object detection, post-estimation, classification, and also segmentation into the camera, so that you can make your camera as a out-of-box, ready-to-use AI camera at anywhere and anytime.
Okay.
So here's some Ultralytics solutions. I think Glenn, do you want to take charge of these slides to show more?
Yeah, of course. We started Ultralytics really in computer vision by focusing on the models themselves, like trying to build the best models, the smallest ones, the fastest ones. But then, of course, people really want to see how they can be used. They want to see a potential solution to kind of like imagine how it might work within their application, within their organization, or in their student project. And so we wanted to give people lots of ideas. And so we've really focused on what we call solutions, which are just kind of demo use cases. And these could be around things like object counting, tracking in automotive applications, smart cities applications, maybe spotting empty parking lots, empty parking spaces, and also within fitness, like counting the number of push-ups, pull-ups that you do, and so on. And so we aim here to try and like take a step in the direction of not a complete end solution, but something that we can kind of like launch the users off with like a little bit of a solution that'll really get them started. So we've got these examples that we've created, and within the Ultralytics repo, we've also got an examples directory that's open to the community and where we accept submissions there. And so in that directory, we've got a lot of Colab notebooks and also examples within different environments. So how to deploy these solutions, say within like Rust or Node.js, Python, and so on. So you can get those at the Ultralytics repository, and any of the models that are used there are public, and they're available also for almost immediate plugin. You just specify the model you want to run in one of these solutions, and it'll start. And most recently, we've been also working on different tasks. So some of these models are object detection models, which YOLO is most commonly known for. But we've also expanded to instance segmentation, oriented bounding boxes, like you see in the parking lot example, human pose estimation, but that also works with other things like animals and cars and vehicles. And also, of course, just the classic image classification.
Yeah, I also see that one of the updates of the YOLO 11 is that the oriented object detection, right? That kind of model is
Yeah,
really
that was a new one. It was surprisingly difficult to implement because it's
Mhm.
it looks just like object detection, but it's got a completely different loss function.
Mhm.
And it's not as simple as it seems because it's not just an additional curvature function. It's something entirely different. And so these are called OBB. That's the terminology for it. YOLO OBB for oriented bounding boxes models. And there's
Right.
5 of those, from nano to extra large. So every task I just mentioned, there's all 5 sizes: the nano models, small, medium, large, and extra large. And when I say extra large, they're only about 60 million parameters, so they're still relatively small. And I think for many of those, they can even the largest models can run on some edge devices.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and also like we keep on adding like new solutions based on what the users are like like the new solutions according to the requirements of the real world. So we can keep on adding these solutions to our solutions page at Ultralytics.
Yeah. I'd say the major differentiator of Ultralytics is we don't create models, we create entire ecosystem. So we really help you train these models, and then we make sure that they're deployable everywhere. So there's almost 15 different export formats that we support. And we really partner with a lot of the edge AI companies to make sure that once you train a model, that you're actually able to use that within your solution. Otherwise, I think a lot of the work sort of stays in the laboratory, as we saw before in our earlier days.
Yeah, that's really useful to like easy to deploy. It's really useful.
It's all about connecting those 2 dots. So research is really I think the starting point. But then at least for me, and I think at least for a lot of our users, connecting that technology with the real world application is where you really derive the value. So thinking about how the models could be used within your project or in the wider world, like maybe just a coffee shop for maybe ordering more coffee beans when you're running out. Just a kind of like a common sense real world problem like that. Okay.
So there's another question like, are there any plans for a more powerful NPU? For the core board, we are like planning to choose more powerful, like maybe 2 tops air performance or 4 tops. We are choosing the choices. So right now we don't have a specific option, but we can update to all of the developers or the community in the next step. So just stay with us and keep up state. All right. So I think we can go further. So here are some possibilities that ReCamera can help based on we deploying the YOLO 11 model, and also we bring more demo possibilities here. So maybe you can just check about. So here we want to mention that the ReCamera, for now, we build the ReCamera with the gimbal. So maybe we can check this here. It's like you can moving to all directions and moving to like tracking people or tracking objects. So for the first demo, we want to use the ReCamera. We want to use the voice control to like make the ReCamera gimbal moving around and tracking people face. And the large models are using the Llama 3 and Lava. We deploy these kind of large models into the Jetson Edge devices. So maybe you can check the demo here.
How many people on your lab? One.
So we ask.
Turn your right and describe what do you see.
Yeah, and say the comment to the camera to turn directions, and then we can.
I see a man with glasses and a black shirt.
Get the feedback instantly.
So yeah, you mentioned it's running the Llama and Lava on Jetson, right? Not on the ReCamera. Am I right?
Yeah, because ReCamera cannot afford these 2 large models, so we use a powerful one. Yeah.
I see. So that's like a communication between the Jetson and the ReCamera in this demo.
Yeah.
Right. Cool. And I think when it comes to Jetson, it's pretty cool, like how Jetson has evolved as well. And it's nice that different kind of these embedded devices can talk to each other. And now we can bring the Llama, and also your Ultralytics YOLO to ReCamera to bring all these devices together. Yeah.
It combines like whole inputs into the vision AI applications. So you don't really like only depending on the vision or like the imaging input, but also like combining multimodal like voice or other like environmental sensors into your application together. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw so we were at GTC, the NVIDIA GTC conference, and Seed had a nice booth there. And you guys had the lava model also set up there, and it was kind of on an infinite loop, like constantly describing what he was seeing on the camera and running it through some edge hardware. So it's really awesome. It's a cool application.
Thank you. It's like multimodal deployment on the
yeah.
Pretty cool. All right, so like let's see the next one. So here is we combine the ReCamera with the Wi-Fi Holo so that you can bring ReCamera outside to like make long range connection with ReCamera and or like processor or the dashboard. So you can remote control the ReCamera to see what happened outside or on the road, to detect the car or detect the person. And you can also check the real-time detecting results through any browsers, like from web browser or from the mobile dashboard.
So I have a question here. So that is when you're using ReCamera, because you said it's using Wi-Fi to do this communication, right? So do you guys also like do you also need to connect like an external antenna to the ReCamera? Does it come as an expansion board or something? So that you said it's 1 kilometer, right? So maybe if the user want to expand the range, so is there any possibilities?
Yeah, that's very interesting. That the outside antenna is like something like this one. There's a antenna.
A small antenna. Okay.
Yeah,
it's so small.
but the communication range could be longer, like longer than the Wi-Fi Holo or something. Yeah.
Cool.
And here's we integrate the camera with the mobile arm to identify the vehicle marker, so it can help the camera to identify the place, the right place, to pick up the bottom and also pull the things inside the bottom to the top. So it like have the mobile arm to do the correct behaviors.
And so there's a camera on the actual end of the robot arm there.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
into the end of the robot, like the left arm.
Okay.
Right. That's
Yeah, really cool.
okay. Yeah, here. I think it's here. Okay, so all of the slides that we mentioned before is the previous achievements or the previous applications that we built with ReCamera. So from this slide, we'll introduce what's the update of the ReCamera OS and also the ReCamera Dashboard to help you really use the ReCamera in easy steps, integrating with the no-rap platform. So here you can see we have the preview dashboard to deploy YOLO 11 models much easier. Like you can drag and drop the nodes from the dashboard and then compose them together to build a workflow. And then you can get the preview dashboard here, and you can change the YOLO 11 model, like the counting people or counting cat, counting dog, any objects through here. And I think I can share with you.
Jennie, where did we get that software that you were showing with the block diagrams?
I'm sorry.
Where did we get that software? So you were showing the block diagrams and how you can swap out different models.
It's integrated with the no-rap platform. But right now, I think I can.
It's no-rap. Okay.
Yeah, I can share with you the real workspace for the ReCamera. So here you can see
cool.
the preloaded workflow here. So the camera setup, there's the YOLO 11 model placed here, and also the preview page, so you can see the real results.
Well, this is the live demo part. There you are. Yeah.
Transferring the
It looks like it's working.
Here you see we set up 4 object classes, like the person, cat, dog. So you can change either one, and then the ReCamera can help you count how many people here. So here it shows.
From my understanding, Jennie, like, is the camera creating some kind of like hotspot so that you connect to it, and then you can preview using the computer like screen? Because I can see that you have connected to the camera using the IP address, right?
Yeah, I connect the ReCamera with the Type-C port. So
Type-C port.
and like connect directly.
Can you connect like wirelessly as well? Like, because as you mentioned, it can also connect wireless, right? So in that case, I believe the computer will connect to the Wi-Fi network created by the ReCamera. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right.
Oh, okay. So then would the camera be usable with, say, an RTSP stream?
Yes.
Oh, cool. Okay. Huh.
And here you can also change the Modo to detection Modo or post Modo, classify or segment. Here you can change one. And also you can choose the application from subscribe to like do the Apple detection, pet detection, this kind of pre-built application. And also you can
these are pre-trained models.
Yes, and also you can upload a model from here.
From the zoo. Okay.
Yes, and then you can see here's you can change the object showing in the preview page, like here. Here's 4 detecting objects, and you can change to like maybe change the dog to, let's say, fork. Here's one object in the, I think in the YOLO 11 dataset, right? Training dataset.
Yes, fork is one of the categories in the Coco dataset.
Yeah, I think we can change that and then deploy. Just wait a second. Yeah, that works. And then you can check. You see here it changed. So you can change either one of the 80 object classes in the preview page. And also, I think if you want to change the preview design or the layout of this page, you can also do it in the Node-RED integration, because you see here's multiple choices, like you can add a button, add a slider, add table, chart into workflow. So you can design the UI interfaces in the preview page. That's very easy.
Yeah, so you can use the blocks to create your own UI, UX here.
Right.
So Jennie, from this, it seems like the Node-RED platform is very lightweight, right? Because you're running the entire this application on device together with the YOLO models, right? So, which means this should be a very lightweight application, the Node-RED application.
Yeah. If you want to use the Node-RED native dashboard, that's also fine, because that's the previous version of our camera. But this one, the only thing is that you can only deploy one application in one ReCamera, and you can now save the application for a ReCamera to use it again. So it's not very flexible for the users. So that's the reason why we integrate the platform into the ReCamera Workspace, and also we preview the preview page for the users. I think it's more easy to use. Yeah. So
like for me personally, also I have in the early days of IoT, I also have used a lot of Node-RED, because Node-RED really helps you to kind of drag and drop these blocks, so you don't need to do any coding or anything. You just like drag the blocks and make your ideas into reality. So this is a good platform, I think. This is a good open source platform based on Node.js. So so it's nice that you guys are using this platform for this application.
It's just
When I was in university, like the first programming I ever did, it wasn't even with any language. It was with Simulink, which is just dragging a bunch of blocks in different places. It was kind of like this. It's made by the MathWorks, which also makes MATLAB. And then when I actually had to start coding, I was like, oh no, I think I just wanted the blocks back. It's like, just like when you're a little kid playing with blocks, it's easy.
Yeah, just good news for the no coding.
Yeah. No, it's easier to get started.
Yeah. I think we can start here. I'm sorry.
So Jennie, you mentioned the YOLO models are running. So is it just the N model? So have you guys like tested different models, different model sizes of YOLO 11 on this ReCamera?
Actually, right now we pre-installed the YOLO 11, YOLO 11N and YOLO 11, I think it's S, these two models into the ReCamera. So right now we don't really do the benchmark, but we really hope to do that in the later. So if you guys also do the benchmark on the ReCamera, we really appreciate that. Just share with us, and we can like do more like the testing and comparison on the ReCamera later.
Yeah, I think that sounds like a great idea. We're trying to benchmark more edge hardware. We've got a few GitHub runners now that we're managing that are actually Raspberry Pis, and so we run all the CI on these GitHub runners. And so we're intent on adding more edge destinations to that, so that people really can have confidence that their models are going to deploy correctly, because they can see that it works like day after day there in the CI.
Okay. All right. So let's move to another one. Here's, you can see we want to provide the function like you can manage multi-applications for the ReCamera. So as we mentioned before, in the previous one, you can only deploy one application in one ReCamera, and you cannot save the application you've done before. So right now you can do like, maybe here, you can see, here's the SenseCraft AI platform. So from here, you can check the ReCamera part, and you can check your application, your previous application project here. So each one you can open and then directly go to, like maybe through USB, you can directly go to the workspace. And then you can also check the public applications here. So here's the previewed dashboard that we provide into the ReCamera, like here, you can see here. And also in the future, we want to like call all the developers to upload their applications and share their like application or projects in the public application part, so that everyone can come here to take a reference of their application or build upon the applications. That's the future hope for this community platform.
Okay.
And then
and Jennie, once the model's trained, like let's say I already have a trained model, and I have it in PyTorch format, then would I export that to Onyx to get that onto the ReCamera?
You mean the Onyx format? Yes, we want to like we also provide the Modo conversion method in the wiki guidance for you to like change your Modo the file type into like into the Onyx format. So everyone can use that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's also an easy way to like change your Modo, upload your own Modo into the ReCamera. So.
But is it just the Onyx, like, or like is it using like you know, another format apart from Onyx? Yeah, because from what I saw in the documentation, it seems like there are like multiple conversions from Onyx to actually deploy the model on device. Yeah.
Oh, I think it's different formats.
Yeah, I think it's multiple format from the end users, and they can convert the model through the method to Onyx format. I think that's the correct way.
Oh, okay. So no matter what you show up with, you want to convert to Onyx.
Yeah.
And does it convert those to like half precision or integer precision?
I'm sorry, what's the tab?
Yeah, is there some quantization that happens during the export process? Or, yeah.
I think it's not quantization. Do we also provide the quantization wiki guidance right now? 量化
那个量化是有一篇写，但是
Yes.
I think we are developing with the quantization method, but right now we don't really optimize that very well. So maybe we can promote this kind of wiki guidance to the users later.
Yeah, I see. Okay. Okay, so the performance could potentially improve then with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Because for edge devices, we are normally like trying to do the quantization because as Glenn mentioned, it can give that performance boost. For the models.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's
there's a whole industry of optimizations on the deployment side. So the idea obviously is you spend a little time optimizing the model, and then you save yourself a lot of time accumulated over like days, weeks, months of inference.
Yeah. Okay, that's a great input, and we can like keep notes of that to do more.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So the next one is so right now we can see how to deploy YOLO 11 in like 3 steps. It's really easy. The first one, you can drag and drop nodes to set up workflow. And then the second step is to modify the camera settings. And then finally, you can just choose one YOLO 11 model to deploy. So we can get it really quick. Maybe here we can create a new application, like we name it as demo. And then we wait for creating a new page for the workspace. And then, so we can complete the 3 steps. First, you drag and drop the nodes. Here's setting up the camera and choose the model and also the preview page. And then combine all of these connections. And then you can also get the camera stream to get it connect with the camera setting. I think we should set, this is the second step to do the camera setting, add a new camera, add it here.
So, Jennie, I want to interrupt with that. So when you're doing all these workflows, so when the user buy the camera for the first time and when they connect it, so are they seeing the blank screen like this, or are they seeing kind of like an example, workflow which is already loaded on the screen? How is the user experience going to be?
They will see the example workflow. Like we provide the pre-built dashboard and also this one, the application. This is the example application that we provide to the users. So once they open or plug in the ReCamera, they can see. They need to log into the username and password first, and then they can see the dashboard and the workspace.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And then we choose one. We need to set up the camera and then choose one, maybe detection model. This is YOLO 11. And then we deploy. Yeah, you can see here. The preview page is showing here. So right now,
the performance looks pretty good.
Yeah. So right now you build the basic workflow for the Vision AI, deploying one object detection model here.
This is really cool, Jennie.
Thanks. Sometimes we interact with the network, but most of the time it works pretty good. Yeah. You can also check like recognize a bottle here. It's not really visible, but it just detects the object here.
Yeah, sometimes clear bottles are a little challenging.
Yeah.
We had some trade shows with like clear plastic bottles that sometimes they don't show up all the time because you just see straight through the bottle. But if you get a dark bottle, it always works.
Right. It is bottle.
Yeah.
And you can also check the ReCamera gimbal. Like here you can see, first we can do the calibration for the ReCamera, you see? It's just doing calculation for the directions to find the correct way, to find the correct position. And after the calibration, you can just move around the ReCamera gimbal to anywhere.
You can just move it with the mouse there.
Yeah, you can drag. And also you can drag to like the the pitch and adjust the speed for the
Yeah,
ReCamera.
yaw and pitch are so this is the 2 degrees of freedoms. Yaw is like on a horizontal plane, like if you go from
Yeah,
east to west, and then pitch is if you go like up or down.
exactly.
There's a third
That's
one called roll. That's if you have like a third degree of freedom there, but most gimbals don't have that.
mm-hmm. And also you can set up the ReCamera gimbal to like start tracking like person.
Oh,
Oh, so it
motion.
will. Oh, so okay, so if someone like walks across the room, then the camera will follow them.
Yeah,
This is really cool.
the ReCamera will like track me.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah.
Oh, it's working.
oh,
Yeah.
it's very
This
cool.
is great. Yeah, Lakshantha, we gotta pick one of these up before we go to Mobile World Congress. This
Oh,
will
no.
make for a much better demo.
Yeah.
And then you can just stop tracking and make it sleep. If you make the ReCamera sleep, they will just the ReCamera will upside down to like really sleep well.
Hey, this has been a really cool demo, Jennie. We're actually running out of time though. So this has been like one of the cooler Ultralytics Live Sessions since we've kind of lost track of time. We've got a few questions over here, but I'll give you a few minutes to wrap up here, and then we'll get over to the Q&A.
Yeah, we can go to Q&A, and at the very last, we can like call every developers to join the Discord group to share their ideas and also do more communications.
Okay. So is this the
And
gimbal that
also-
you were just using in the demo?
Yeah, I also source many questions like many people ask about the license questions. So
I saw
can
that.
you
Yeah,
buy the license?
we've got some good news for those guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. So that's a great question. Let's start there. So I saw a couple questions about the license. And so as everybody knows, the Ultralytics models are AGPL models by default. This means if you use them, you should keep them open under the same license, including if you use them in a larger project. And so for commercial applications, we have a commercial license, and the process is pretty simple. It's just through our website. We have a license page. But there's some exciting news here for Seed. We've partnered together to enable commercial licensing automatically with every ReCamera. So this means that if you purchase one of these from Seed, then it's automatically commercially licensed, and you can use all of the current Ultralytics YOLO models and future models that we release. So if we come out with something better later on this year, perhaps, then you can also put that in the camera, and you can deploy that within commercial applications. So within factories and any other commercial site, internally, externally, to your companies. So this is pretty cool. This is the first time we've actually done this, and we're hoping to do this more to make it easier for people to really deploy commercial applications on the edge hardware that they need.
Yeah. One more question is that is the license fee containing training the models? Is that covered?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you can train a new model, and then you can deploy that to the camera, and all of that's included, as long as you deploy to the ReCamera. So any deployments that end up going to a ReCamera are covered within that purchase that you made. So it's nice and simple, and hopefully it makes it a little simpler for people to deploy these commercially within the projects that they really need to.
That's
So I
really
saw
cool.
some other interesting questions too. One of them I think was around the heat budget, thermal throttling, and things like that. So from my experience, when I first started creating iOS apps, that can be a factor. So for very high performance devices, sometimes heat will rise, and then there'll be some throttling that may come into play to kind of like reduce the performance to manage the heat budget. But it looks like Elaine said here that they've tested the ReCamera for up to a week, which is a long time. I never tested YOLO on an iPhone more than a few hours, but they tested a week straight, and it looks like they have steady state performance and a temperature there about 47 degrees Celsius, which is within the balance that's acceptable for the camera. So I'm imagining that the aluminum heatsink there really plays a key role, and I think was designed to kind of dissipate heat as much as possible.
Yeah. Just keeping the operation temperatures below 50 Celsius degrees. So it really pays a lot efforts to do that.
And let's see, there's one really interesting question here from Tao Jiang, and he says that the drag and drop interface is really cool. But of course, as a developer, like we also want to get to the underlying code to maybe customize it a bit, deploy it, and so on. And so is that possible with Node-RED? Like, can you get the code underlying the block diagram?
Yeah, if you want to like do codes, you can also like I mentioned before, you can programming in the VS Code and then upload your code through like you can upload the code to the Node-RED nodes. Like you can integrate your coding and also the nodes together to modify the codes, features, and configurations.
Okay.
Yeah, because
And
Jennie, like you have created these nodes, right? Because you mentioned there are like specific nodes specific to ReCamera, right? They're not coming from Node-RED, which means they are like these nodes are developed, right, by Seed.
The nodes is
The nodes themselves are developed by Seed.
no. The nodes itself is from the Node-RED platform.
Directly from Node-RED. Okay, got it.
okay. So we've got a question here that I can't answer, but I think Jennie, you can. And so let's see, we've got Dado Balone asking if it's currently available to order. So are you shipping these today? Like, can we head over to the store and buy one now?
Yeah, I think that's all for today. So if you also have any questions, you can like pop up in the comments or promote the questions into the GitHub group so we can discuss further.
Okay. Let's see. And we've got a technical question from Jose Alberto Ferreira Fillo. He says, does the camera have a sleep mode?
Which one?
Like a sleep, maybe conservation energy mode, something like that.
The sleep mode?
Yeah, sleep mode.
Yeah, I think the sleep mode is working well. Also for the gimbal demo, you can see there's a sleep button, so you can put the ReCamera upside down. It's automatically upside down, so the ReCamera is actually in the sleep mode.
Oh, okay. Okay. Let's see here. And then, so the gimbals, so do the gimbals always have to be powered to maintain a position, or do they only take power to move the camera?
这个是现在供电。
Because for the power supply, we connect with the cable to like do the power on. So it's maintaining the power with the cable.
Okay.
There's
so are you guys planning to like integrate like a battery or some kind of stuff? Because this is kind of like going to be a portable camera, right? Like
no,
deploy like outside.
No, we don't have the battery.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. Let's see here. So we got a two-part question from Atif Anwar. He says, "Can you load a custom pre-trained YOLO model and use it independently of any external input?" And the second part is, what is the timeline for the availability of the other modules, the boards on Seed Studio for purchase? So I think he means maybe the gimbal boards and the two camera boards.
The timeline for the gimbal boards is we are during the alpha testing, so we are going to promote the new products in the next, I think it's next 1 or 2 months. We are going to release the new products. But if you want to pre-train the models, you can do that. You can do the pre-trained YOLO models based on your specific data set, and then you can upload the YOLO models through the Node-RED Workspace or the dashboard. I think that's easy to use. I'm not sure if you answered the question.
Yeah, I think so. And I think the first part's already been answered, and that you can bring your own custom pre-trained YOLO model. So if you already have the model today, I think you'll be able to use that without any retraining. So that's good. And then, okay, last question here, or maybe we have time for one more, but let's see. This one is from Laurent. They say, do you have a node to manipulate image flow, crop, resize? Can we run 2 different models simultaneously? So, okay. So I think before I saw Elaine answer that you can only run one model at a time. But I think the pre-processing is all handled automatically, if I understand, as part of the seed export process to Onyx.
Mm-hmm.
And so that means that the camera will have a certain frame size, and I think you want to export your model to that frame size, and then Seed will probably handle all that pre-processing for you. But I think what is also important to mention is you want to make sure that you train at a similar image size. So if you're training at say 1920 in HD format or something like that to detect very small objects, then I think you either want to set an inference size, or you want to know the inference size a priori so you can train at that inference size to get the best results.
Or the IP level. Right now, the camera doesn't have the IP level for like these really high, like 6.7 or 6.8. But we really hope to do like we can help to do the customization for the customers or users if they want to deploy the ReCamera in the wild or in the harsh environment in the industrial factories. We can help to do that. But right now, the standard product doesn't have the high level IP address, IP protection.
Okay. And then last question here, we got Sinan Aksoy. He says, if there's a commercial use case such as manufacturing industries, how does the licensing work? And the licensing works for all applications, including commercial applications, including manufacturing industries. So you can use ReCamera with the Ultralytics YOLO models, and the license is included there for any commercial application. So good news, and I think it's going to open a lot of doors here. So, and with that, we're a few minutes over, but I think we got this done just right. So thank you so much for these demos, Jenny. It's been super cool, especially the live demo. I really like the gimbal part. That's my personal favorite. And I'm looking forward to seeing what users build with these cameras.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. Thank you for listening for this presentation.
Okay, great. Well, thank you, Jenny, and thank you, Lakshantha.
Thank you, guys, and don't forget to join us, our Discord channels and all our social media with Ultralytics to engage with us. We'll be there.
Yeah, absolutely. If we didn't get to your question, or if you think of something else in the future, always come by GitHub, drop that in an issue, and we'll come by and answer it as best we can. So thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.